So I first came across your work, I guess people who were, so your book has 6 chapters on science, and then 1 chapter on false leads, is that right? Or
just the ways that people react to
fine-tuning?
It's kind of interesting when you give talks that usually, not much happens. So when I gave the talk to the astronomers in Sydney, there was like an hour and a half of questions afterwards. And not just questions to me, like everyone's talking to everyone else about what on earth is going on. This never happens because usually after an astronomy talk it's lunchtime and so everyone leaves. So it just generates, so we sort of collected a lot of those questions and tried to answer the ones we thought were going down the wrong track.
Okay. A few years ago, City Bible Forum had Lawrence Krauss come and do an event here in Perth, and he kind of comes down on the side of the multiverse, is that right?
Yeah, I think so.
But he's tried to, what do you make of his, I read, my first cosmology book was his one a couple of years ago, and I've enjoyed yours a lot more, I must say.
Oh, good.
Can't get this one. But at the end of that, he seems to say that a universe can come out of nothing.
Right.
What do you make of his answers to the problem of fine-tuning?
So that book was more specifically about why there's a universe at all, rather than why it's specifically fine-tuned. I think he thinks a multiverse would explain it. If you just vary things enough, then something will turn up. One of the problems is you need some specific model for a multiverse, which we don't really have. But the point I try to make there in the book is that there's a deeper issue here, even if the multiverse seems like it's on top of things, right? There's still this question of why things are right for life, when in so many cases they're not right for life. And I think the multiverse won't necessarily totally solve that problem.
Okay.
I have just slander Lawrence Krauss for long.
All right, yeah. No, okay. Someone that you might know what to slander. So is Stephen Hawking, he wrote that book a couple of years ago, and in it said that we don't need a god to kick things off, is that right? Was he trying to address the same question, or he was addressing the question of what started things?
Yeah, so I think Hawking went for the multiverse option as well. He was quite explicit about that this fine-tuning stuff is a real problem, we've got to do something about it. Is this cutting in and out?
Yeah, sorry. You can ditch it if you like.
I'm noisy enough. So Hawking, in his published work, talked about, he actually published papers on fine-tuning in one of the early papers in the late 70s, I think, just about one particular way the universe is fine-tuned. And so his answer was the multiverse for the most part. The point he made in that other book was again about the ultimate origin of why there's a universe at all. And so his answer there was, there's supposedly these natural scenarios in which a universe appears out of something that's very different from our universe, and with a bit of creative work there, you call that other thing nothing, and then you've got something coming out of nothing. That's not particularly convincing if you understand the philosophical question you started with.